design. Like if in my network there are several services like HTTP service, DNS service, DHCP service, right? Telnet service, file transfer service, tftp service. If you have these services, how you are going to provide the access of these services to end user? And now, as you guys are not familiar with routing or overlay network, like let's say my server is, my network resources like servers are in different location, let's say in US, right? And then our clients who are accessing this server, are located at different location across the globe. Let's say some users are in India, Delhi, some users are in Mumbai, some users are in Canada, right? Some users are in somewhere else. So if I will design network like this, then maybe you will get confused because now you don't know the routing and you don't know how to connect two private network together through public network. So what I will do, I will put these all resources in a single network. I will design network like this. I have these servers. I will connect these servers to a single switch, and maybe I will connect this switch to a router, and then I'm going to connect one branch here, right? Branch office, and there we have end users. So for now, just try to understand how we are going to provide the access of these services to these end user. So here you don't need to configure routing because both networks are directly connected with each other through router, correct? But later on, we will never have scenario like this. Our resources will be at different location and our customer will be at different location. Okay, like right now you are accessing WhatsApp server, Facebook server, YouTube, from where? From your home. But the YouTube servers are located at different location, at a centralized location. There are multiple data center of YouTube, right? Let's say you are uploading one video on YouTube, brother, right? Do you think that YouTube is going to upload that video on a single server? No, because YouTube is a big organization, right? They need backup also. What if that server will crash? So he is going to make a copy of this video on multiple server, and their server are located at multiple location, like in each country. You can check where is YouTube data center in India, right? So if you are accessing some video on YouTube, that means you are accessing from their data center, from their server, which is located in India. If you are in US, and then if you are accessing the video, same video, that means you are accessing that video from the server which is located nearby US, you can say like that. So same videos are available on multiple server at multiple location, right? So later on, after the when I will cover the syllabus, right, entire syllabus, then we will discuss how a YouTube network look likes, right? What will be the design of network like YouTube, Facebook, right? But for now I am not going to connect all branches together. For now I will simply design network like this. First of all, let me do one thing. Let me design the network in packet tracer. I think it will be easier for you to understand. Let's say in my network I am going to put some resources, like let's say there are some servers. This is, let's say, which server? DNS, HTTP, HTTPS, file transfer server. Let's say 4 server there. This one is HTTPS. This one is what? Let's say DNS or DHCP. DHCP. This is, let's say, what? DNS. And this is what? Let's say FTP. Okay. So these are, guys, what? Resources, right? What we called it in networking, resources. And these resources should be accessible from all of my employees, correct? But for now I am going to connect these all servers together with one switch. So let me drag and drop one switch here. This is my switch, and now let me connect these all computers, all servers together like this. Hope this design is clear to you because we discussed this type of design many times. Then let's say I have one router here, router, and after that, guys, I have one another branch somewhere. So this is switch, and then I have some computers here and users. It can be computers, laptop, it can be what? IP phone, it can be printer, it can be tablet, it can be wireless device and wired device, right? Like this. PC1, PC2, let me rename from here. PC3, laptop 1, PC2 and PC1. Is a screen visible, right? Or should I zoom it?
It's visible.
It's visible now? Okay. So let's say, brother, I want that these users should get IP address from DHCP server. As I told you, we have two options to configure IP address on end devices, right? Either I can manually assign IP address on all devices, or I can set up a DHCP server, right? So here, as we have DHCP server in the network, we have invested some money, right, to set up the DHCP server. So we are going to provide IP addresses to these clients dynamically, automatically. Okay. So you will see how we will set up the DHCP server here. So first, let me connect these all devices together. Now you can see I have two branch, right? One is my, you can say, data center where I have resources, and one where we have what, end users. And now I need to connect these two branches together. So in real time you will have ISP between it, right? You will have ISP, and through ISP you will place one router here, one place router here. You will connect this router like this, and then you can put one firewall here, one firewall here, and after that you can connect it. So after some time, when we will cover the routing, we will see this type of design, right? But for now I'm going to connect switch to router directly like this. Clear? But always keep in mind the actual diagram, guys, in mind, okay? Because as I'm not interested to make you understand routing right now, just I want to make you understand the application layer protocol, so that's why I've designed like this. Now see, here I am going to configure DHCP service, here DHCP service, here DNS service, here FTP service, and then we will access those services from this end user, from end devices. So first understand the theory part. Let me discuss all protocol one by one. Okay, so let's begin from the HTTP. So guys, HTTP and HTTPS, both protocols are same. Both are used to access web page from the web server. But the difference is what, HTTP is not secure and HTTPS is secure. Now why I'm saying HTTPS is secure and HTTP is not secure? Because your data is going to flow on the network in plain text in case of what, HTTP, and your data is going to flow on internet in encrypted in cipher text in case of what, HTTP. So your data will be encrypted, right? No one can read your data. So this is the concern of security only here. Clear? Now port number, that HTTP is using what, 80, and at transport layer which service it is using, TCP. TCP stands for
Transmission Control Protocol.
transmission control protocol. It is a connection oriented or connectionless?
Connection oriented.
It is a reliable or unreliable?
Reliable.
Is windowing there or not?
Windowing.
Windowing? Yes. Sequencing is there or not? Sequencing means it is going to add the sequence number with segment or not? Yes, in TCP there is concept of sequencing, right? Acknowledgement, sequencing, then flow control is also there, right? Error checksum field is also there, right? So it is going to calculate the hash value, then it will put that hash value with the data. Getting my point? Okay, so this is all about HTTP protocol. So what you need to keep in mind, HTTP protocol is using port number 80. It uses TCP protocol at transport layer, and then what is the use of this protocol? So to access web page, and it is not secure. That's it. You don't need to learn anything else about HTTP protocol here, right? As a network engineer, this is sufficient for you. Now HTTPS, the difference is what, only port number, and second difference, secure. Okay, now guys, next protocol is what, Telnet. So yes, what is the use of Telnet?
Take remote access network. We can also used as a debug for device.
No, debug is different thing. Debugging is
To
different
connect
thing.
the network device.
To, to
To
access
access.
the
Access.
network device remotely. See, we have
Yes.
two types of access. Let's say I have one router. See guys, if you will search router on Google, let's say Cisco router. See, these are what? Cisco router. See, let me open anyone. Copy. Let me copy now. Yes. See, are you able to see console port here, guys?
Yes.
This is my router. On the router, you can see this is what console port. This one. Yes or no?
Yes.
So, to access this router, what you will do, let's say this router is in rack, right? And you want to modify the configure or you want to configure this router. So what you need to do, you need to connect your laptop to this router first. How you will connect? You need a console cable, right? When we will discuss that cabling type of cable, we will discuss the crossover cable as well, right? So crossover cable is nothing but a console cable. One end you will get this port, means RJ45 ports, and one end you will get serial port, right? Then again, if you have laptop and in your laptop there is no any serial ports, then what you can do, you can purchase one cable from the market. Which cable? Serial to USB converter. Serial to USB converter, right? So through the console port, what we can do, we can connect my PC. And now from my PC, I can use any software like Putty, Secure CRT to configure this router. Through that, I can access this router, and after that, I can configure it, right? But guys, at the initial time, when you need to configure this router first time, that is fine, right? You can connect the device and you can configure it. But let's say every day you need to check the health of this router. Every day you need to check the health of this router. Like your task is just check what is the CPU utilization, average CPU utilization of router. Is there any error, right? Every day you are maintaining this router, right? You are checking the health of router. So do you think every day you will connect your computer to router and then you will access, after that you will check the health? No, brother. What we will do, we will configure a remote access service on this router, and after that, doesn't matter where you are somewhere in your office, right? And guys, through the network you have connectivity with router. Like on the fast ethernet 0/0, I'm running on IP 10.1.1.1. If there is reachability between this IP and your PC, if there is reachability between this IP and PC, then doesn't matter where you are and where is your router, you can access this router remotely. Why? Because you have already enabled the remote service. Getting my point? So let's say my IP address is 10.1.1.2 and I am able to ping 10.1 from my PC, right? That means I have reachability to router. Simply I can open the putty and there I can telnet this router, and then I can modify the configuration, I can configure it, I can check the health of router, right? So like this, let's say in my company again guys, 1000 routers are there. So is it possible to check health of each devices every day by connecting a computer? No, this is not practical, right? So in real time, we will always use what? Protocol. Which protocol? Telnet and SSH. Like HTTP is not secure protocol and HTTPS is secure protocol. In the same way, guys, your Telnet is not a secure protocol and SSH is secure protocol. Otherwise, working is same. Working is same. Fine. So in packet tracer also, let me tell you how you will access the router in real time. So let's say this is your router, right? I'm talking about the real time scenario. In real time, this is, let's say, brand new router, right? Here also, if you want to see how router look like, you can see same. You can zoom it, right? You have what here? Again, console port. This is what? Console port. This is what? Fast Ethernet 0/0 port. This is 0/0. This is 0/1, and this is what? Console port. Again, we have one more port, that is auxiliary port. We will discuss about it later, right? Similar, like auxiliary port is also similar like what? Console port. Nowadays we are not using it, right? So here I can connect this router to two different ISP. Let's say this is ISP 1 and this is what, ISP2. For the backup purpose, I have connected both ISP here, right? Or I can add one slot for WAN port, right? So let's say there is one slot, in that slot there are two ports. Like this also I can connect two ISP together, and then I can connect this port with one LAN, like let's say this LAN, this switch, and then I can connect this router to this switch. Correct, guys? After that, I need to configure this router, like how we are going to configure my router in the topology. In the same, here I need to configure one IP over here, one IP over here, one IP here, one IP here, right? Then many more things are there, like you have to protect the router, so you have to configure the multiple password, you have to enable the remote service, right? You have to configure the banner, you have to configure the description on each port even as well, right? Like on this interface you will put one description that this link is connected with ISP1, right? Maybe this is Airtel, so you will write the description. This port 0/0 is connected with ISP1 Airtel. On this port you will put a description that this port is connected with ISP2, that is Vodafone. This port is connected with switch 1, which is going toward, let's say, floor 1. This port is connected with switch number, core switch, let's say 1, which is going toward floor number 2. Like that you have to configure many things on router, correct? So to configure it, what you will do, you need one laptop or one PC. So let's say you have one PC here, then you need one console cable, right? So this is console cable. Here you can see, when I am taking my cursor to a cable, in the bottom it's showing the name of cable, yes or no, here. So which type of cable it is? I'm talking about this cable, console, right? Now guys, tell me which type of cable it is. This one, here is my cursor, copper, straight through. This one, crossover. This one, fiber. Okay, so here you know how I have used the cable automatically. Now between router 1 and PC, as I am going to configure this router, right, for management plane traffic, always use console cable. So you will take one console cable, you will put that console cable on which port? On console port. Then you will connect one into your PC, like this, right? In real time you will access your router like this. Then you will click on PC. On your PC there will be one what? Software, like putty and secure CRT. Here you have what? Terminal. So same terminal you need on real devices as well. So once I will click on the terminal and I will hit okay, you can see I have access of my router, yes or no? Now I can configure this router. In the same way you will access router in real time, correct? Right? But the second option is what? This is first option. This is first option. Second option is remotely. How I can access the devices remotely, right? For that you have protocol. First protocol is Telnet. Now hope Telnet is clear. Yes or no? Okay. So Telnet is using what port number?
20,
1 second guys.
20.
Yes, Telnet is using port number 23. It uses TCP or UDP, transport layer. TCP, that means remember all the things, all the parameters of TCP. Okay, it is going to first establish one logical connection with the help of three-way handshake, right? Where source is going to be random, port number, destination will be 23. Call yourself, brother. Recall yourself again and again, whatever things we have discussed till now. These are basic but very important. I'm saying again and again, right? Important, very important. So recall the things, whatever things we have discussed in TCP. Doesn't matter where you are seeing TCP. Whenever you will see TCP somewhere in book, in the live class, in the video, in the YouTube video, recall all the things about TCP at the initial time. As you guys are learning networking first time, right? It is very important to recall same things again and again. Getting my point? Now, it uses TCP, that is also fine. It is used to take remote access of networking devices. It is not secure protocol. Now how to configure it? Guys, always keep in mind, by default, Telnet is enabled on devices. By default, Telnet is enabled on devices. We will see the configuration later. Then next protocol is what? SSH. Port number 22. Again, which service at transport layer? TCP. And use of this protocol is also what? Networking device. But difference is what it is? Secure protocol. So two difference between Telnet and SSH. Port number, SSH is using 22, Telnet is using 23. Second difference, Telnet is not a secure and SSH is secure. You know, if you want to know the configuration of these protocols, guys, I have already shared one file with you. This file, I am talking about this file. Let me show you. Configuration is already there, right? We will discuss the configuration as well, but you have, see, here is the configuration. Yeah. See, brother, what is the configuration of Telnet? That's it. And by default, these all commands are already enabled on routers and switches. What is the command to configure IP address on router? Yeah, read guys fast. First you have to go to interface.
Yes.
Why we need to run no such command?
To open the port.
Because by default router interfaces are down and switches interfaces are up. We don't need to run no such command on router switch interface, right? And guys, when you will access the router, in which mode you will get access?
Enable mode.
User mode.
Sorry, yes, user mode.
User mode. What is user mode?
It will allow to view the state of router, but will not allow to modify its configuration.
Got it?
User read only.
Yes.
Only you can read.
Read. And to move from this state, this mode to next mode means enable mode. What command we need to run?
To modify someone configuration of the router or switch. We give the permission to modify.
Correct. But again, the main configurations are not allowed here, right? Very basic commands you can run over here, right? Main, again, this mode is for verification mainly, to verify, to troubleshoot. This mode is for troubleshooting. For configuring the router devices, we have which mode? Global configure mode. And to enter in global configure mode, you will run this command, configure terminal, right? Then basic configuration of router, like if you want to configure what? Host name. So how you will configure the host name? Like, see, if you want to see the practical, what I can do, I can click on the router. Now you can see I have access of router. In which mode I have access, guys? If I will run enable command, now I am in which mode? Privilege mode. You can read right in the note. Then I will run configure terminal command. I will enter in which mode? Global configure mode. Then if I want to configure an interface, I will go to interface fast Ethernet 0/0, right? I am on interface mode now. Here if I will run no such command, you will see this port will become up. This port will come up, right? See, now port is green. Yes or no? Okay. So then please mute yourself, brother. I am getting some noise from somewhere. Then this is command to configure host name. Like I want to change the host name on router. Simply I can run what? See, right now host name of my router is what? Router. So if I want to change the host name, I can say R1. Now you can see the name of my router is what? R1. Earlier name was what? Router. Like this, if you want to configure the banner on router, you can use this command. See, on this router, brother, if I am accessing this router, I'm getting any log message, any type of message? No, there is no any message, right? But if you want to set some information, if you want to give some information who is going to log in this router, what you can do, you can set one banner over here. Banner MOTD, banner MOTD, and then you can use one special character. Let me use H. right? And then we can type down the message. Let's say this is a private router, or let me say this is a router using username Cisco and password. Let's say I have configured this password right on router, and I am sharing this password with anyone who will access this router. So let's say password is Cisco 123, and after the message again I will use same character, and let me hit enter. Now if I will exit, you can see I'm getting one message right on the screen. So whenever someone will log in this device, right, first of all they will get this message. This is what banner, what it's saying. This is a router using username Cisco, password Cisco 123, like this. Okay, then as these are basic, right, I'm going fast. Then how to save the configuration, like these configuration are in RAM. Soon we are going to discuss memory of router also, but this is RAM, so running configuration, you can check this is your configuration. So your all configuration will store in RAM, guys, and RAM is non-volatile memory, so whenever power will goes down your configuration will lost. So you can save the configuration in NVRAM, non-volatile memory, that is called a startup configuration. So if you will check, so a startup configuration, so you can see there is nothing in a startup. But if I want to save, I can simply run one command over here, copy running configuration to a startup configuration, that's it. Now if you will check the startup configuration, you can see there is same configuration, right, in a startup. Right now if power will goes down, my configuration will be still there. So next command is what, configure password on router. So to configure password you can run this command. Okay, leave it for now. Then how to check the running configuration, then how to configure password on console port. Like as I told you, you can access the router through physical cable, that is called physical access. So how you can access the router through physical access, with the help of console port, that is called console 0, right? So if you want to configure password there, like let's say on this router I'm going to configure one password on console port, line console 0, and let me say password Cisco 123, right? Now if someone will try to access this router, let's say this PC want to access this router, so what this PC will do, this PC will connect this router through console cable, right? And then it will open their terminal and click OK. How it's giving access, it's not asking for password. Okay, it will not work here. Actually I have again missed one command, one more command, that is line console 0 and say login, right? Exit. Now you can see it's asking for what, password. Now no one without password can log in my device. Got it, guys? And password is, you can see, in front of you, because of what, because of banner. I've set this banner now, so I've mentioned the password. Yes,
If we forget our console password,
then you can forget it now. We will see how to reset the password also without lost the configuration, right? You have, we have multiple options to forget the password. Very easy, right? One is method is very easy, but through that you will lost your configuration. But sometimes your requirement is what, you want to reset the password but you don't want to lose your configuration, so we will see both method. Got it? Now the next command is configure IP address on router. You can see configuring IP is very easy. Then guys, configure telnet on router, right? So right now we are talking about which protocol here, telnet. So till now configuration is also clear, and you can check the configuration after the class as well, right? That what is the configuration of telnet, and you can, and you should, guys, you should perform the lab by yourself as well. You should configure the banner, whatever things I have configured right till now. So you should check, you should configure it by yourself. At least configure the banner also, guys, one time in your life. Okay, Doesn't matter someone is going to ask it or not, right? Or are really we are going to use it in real time or not, doesn't matter. At least if this feature is available, then try to configure it once in your life. Okay, now in the same way you can configure SSH like this. Then let me move to the next protocol. So telnet and SSH both protocol is clear. I'm expecting yes or no.
Yes.
Any question till here?
Sir, can you explain port number? How can
Port number?
I'm not clear.
Yesterday class port number, brother. In yesterday class we discussed na port number. So see, port number is 16 bits value which all application layer services use to identify the service. All protocols used to identify the service. Let's say we are identifying HTTP service. How? With the help of port number. What is the port number? HTTP. Okay, so how you are identifying the Google server? With the help of port number only.
Number.
So that's why for each port protocol you can say we have one word port number for each protocol. Yes or no?
Yes,
Port number, it means it's a identification.
Yeah, identification of all protocol at application layer. Like how network layer or IP protocol is identifying upper layer protocol with the help of protocol number. That is protocol number, right? So from through protocol number you are going to identify layer 3 and layer 4 protocol, and through port number you are going to identify what? Application layer protocol. This is the difference between
Why
port
port
number and
protocol
protocol.
is identify the layer of the protocol and port number is identify the app.
Correct. So as that's why yesterday we discussed what, guys, in IP header there was one field called protocol field, right?
Yes, sir.
In the protocol field the value is 17, that means it is UDP packet. If 6, that means it is a TCP packet, right?
Packet. Yeah, yes.
So with the help of protocol what we are identifying here? Layer 4 protocol, right? In the same way under the protocol field there can be port number of EIGRP also. So EIGRP is layer 3 protocol. How we are identifying EIGRP layer 3 protocol? With the help of again what? Protocol number. So all layer 3 protocols or there 4 protocols will have what? Port protocol number. All application layer protocol will have what? Port number. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, can we identify any port number? Uh,
Port number means,
means, how can
see,
we
there are two
identify?
types of
The port number by the help of
there are two types of port number. One is well known.
Means we have to मतलब याद करना पड़ेगा या
हाँ, क्या जरूरत है याद करने का? कौन पूछने वाला? आपको क्या लगता है कोई पूछने वाला है कि पोर्ट नंबर क्या होगा? ट्रबल शूटिंग में काम आता है, इसीलिए जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है ना प्रोटोकॉल, बस उसको हम याद रखेंगे, बाकी को जाने दीजिए जहां जा रहा है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. If someone is asking, let's say someone is asking what is the port number, and brother, if really your basic is strong and you know the networking, you can tell to even interviewer as well that okay, can I check it on Google? No problem at all.
yes.
This is not technical, right?
But why configuration we need port number? We have
You need what? Logic. What is the logic behind it? Logic can, anyone can ask you the logic. What is the function of it, right? This is really not important that what port number telnet is using, and you can Google it anytime, right? But what is the function of telnet? What is the logic behind it? What is the configuration of telnet? These are important, brother. Right? Why, what, and how? Always keep in mind these three things we need to learn about every protocols. What I am saying, why, what, and how. Guys, I am expecting, after 45 days, if you will compare yourself right from before the training, then there should be a remarkable improvement in your technical skill. So please pay attention, and if you have any question, feel free to stop me anywhere. Okay? Let's move. Okay. So FTP port number. Now why FTP is using two port number? Don't worry about it. We will discuss this later. DHCP is also using two port number. Don't worry. But what is the port number of FTP? 20 and 21.
20 and 21.
And brother,
Which
you know,
terminal will use it, like FTP and SFTP?
and you know, brother, one more thing, why you need to remember some port number, like as I told you, important protocol number and port number should be, you should remember it. Why? Because to learn the technology, you are going to learn technology, right? Actual technology, actual networking, right? So there you have to use these protocol. And if you don't know the protocol number or port number of a protocol, right, you will not understand the technology well. Because maybe every time port number will confuse you, like what is the port number of it. If you know the port number of FTP is 20, or let's say port number of telnet is 23, so if there is no telnet, like you are troubleshooting something and there is no any term like telnet, but there is one term like 23, so if you know the port number you can get, right, it is talking about what? Telnet. Getting my point? So this is the reason why important port number are important. Okay. On the router you can check how many ports are open, means how many protocols are running, right? So there it will show you only 23. So through this you have to understand, okay, it is talking about the telnet, so that means telnet is working fine here, telnet is enabled. Let me troubleshoot other things. Getting my point, brother? Yes or no? Okay, then FTP. FTP is used to access file server, right guys? As I told you, I on server, and on this server there is CCNA book, CCNP book, CCI book, right? There are many more books, and I want to give access to you guys, right? You guys should be able to access these books, like you have downloaded, you know, CCNA notes books from the folder. So that is also like what, one storage server, and whatever resources.
Remote access, sir, remote access and access file server.
Yeah, through remote also, and you can connect your PC directly. Again, what I am saying, there should be IP reachability. Let's say your computer is using IP 10.1.1.1 and this server IP address is 10.1.1.2. Only the requirement is what, there should be reachability, means this PC should be able to ping this PC, that's it. If
The remote access by the remote access.
yes, by the remote access. If you are connected with each other, then also it's fine. If you are not connected, then also it's fine. The only requirement is IP. So in troubleshooting also, whenever you are going to troubleshoot the network, the first thing that you will do is you will ping, you will check the connectivity, that there is IP. Let's say this user is complaining that team, I am not able to access CCNA book on the server, right? So as a network engineer, you are going to troubleshoot it. So first what you will do, from this PC you are going to ping the server. If ping is working fine, then you are going to check that FTP service is really working fine over here or not, right? First let me check if this service is enabled or not, that file is available on the server or not, right? Then you are going to troubleshoot, but first you will check the connectivity only, because most of the time you will see connectivity issue, and as a network engineer you have to troubleshoot the connectivity issue in very less time.
So if troubleshooting will be fine, then how could we identify the port number?
How could you identify the port number means?
They, like we are in let no we are connected with this, yeah.
Okay.
So further, if we try to something check, how could we identify that the files are something data are available or not on that server? How can we?
No, there are many more possibility, brother. Just I have given one example, right? This is just an example. I'm not saying you are going to troubleshoot this like this network like this, right? Don't worry about the troubleshooting. We in the complete course we are going to learn troubleshooting only, brother. Every time in the routing, in the switching, we are going to troubleshoot lots of real-time scenarios after scenarios. And after that, I am going to give you, you know, lots of scenario to perform lab by yourself as well. So that's why I'm saying, if you will complete the training, brother, you will see a remarkable improvement. Just you need to spare some time. It's 3 hours every day, 2 hours for the live session and 1 hour to read book, or sometime to perform lab. I will give those lab only. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to give you only those lab which can be configured, you know, within an hour. Like I'm going to give you one lab, let's say to configure OSPF, and I'm thinking that this lab if anyone is going to configure this lab from the zero, it will take 2 hours. Then you know what I will do? I will think that my students are already familiar with IP configuration. Let me do one thing. Let me tell to my team to configure IP address on all devices, and after that we will share to you. So that now your actual work is only just configure OSPF. Getting my point? So I'm going to take care about your time as well. I'm not going to take your lots of time, only 3 hours. Got it? Okay. Then guys, next protocol is what? TFTP. TFTP protocol is using port number what? And see, use of TFTP is what?
Except for file.
Yeah. See, use of TFTP and FTP both is same, right? Both are used to access what? File from the file server. Like if there is one server, on the server there are some file, right, and I want to access from the computer, definitely a protocol is required, because things is going to happen dynamically. And as I told you, whenever things will happen dynamically, protocol will work. Whenever things will happen manually, then we will work, network engineer will work. So here protocol is going to work either TFTP or FTP. But the difference is what? In TFTP you cannot browse the file. Let's say on the server there are 500 books, and you need to download one CCNA books out of these 500 books, and CCNA of Praful Mishra, let's say. So what you will do? You will first access the server. After that, you will search for that book. Correct, guys? Or you are going to check the list. What you will do? You will browse the book, or you are going to check the list of 500 books. Browse.
Check the list.
Check the list can be lengthy process. I have to check 500 files. So it will be better if you will browse. You can browse it because you already know the file name, right? So browsing service is available in case of what? FTP. That is not available in case of TFTP, right? But that another difference is what? TFTP is
Fast protocol compared to FTP.
FTP, right? So one advantage, one disadvantage. Always keep in mind. To access file from TFTP server, we have to provide the exact path of file. You should have knowledge that CCNA book is under PM networking folder, and then PM networking folder is under C drive, like that. You have to provide the complete path, then only you can access the file. Done? Clear? Then we have what, guys? NTP protocol. NTP protocol means network time protocol. Very good. Why we are using it?
To set the time.
Now, can anyone tell me why we need to set time on devices? Guys,
To check the logs.
very
server.
good. Guys, I am teaching from last 3 years, and first time, one student have given the right answer of this question. First time I am getting the right answer. Just for the log messages. Let's say you have two devices only. Let me give one example of a small topology, right? You have only two routers, right? And guys, there is no connectivity between R1 and R2. And there is no time as well configured on R1 and R2, right? Let's say here time is by default what? 1 p.m. And here time is what? Let's say 2 a.m. Correct? Now, as a network engineer, you are troubleshooting this network. So first of all, you are going to check the logs, right? Because logs messages are very important for troubleshooting, for monitoring the network, right? Through logs, we can even check the health of devices. So logs, we will store the log messages on a centralized server, right? So first you will access the server and you will check the log. See, first of all, you are going to identify at what time problems actually occurred, correct? So on router number one, according to router number one, guys, problem has started on 1 p.m. and for router number two, problem has started on 2 a.m. Now it is going to make you confused to troubleshoot the network, yes or no?
Yes.
So that's why timer is very required, right? On both devices, timing should be same, right? Either 1 p.m. is fine or 2 a.m. is also fine, right? I'm not saying that time should be synchronized with what? Your watch. Not like that. In a company, if you have 500 devices, so on all the devices, timer should be what? Time is same. Timing should be what? Same. So that it can help you to troubleshoot your network. That's it. So that's why, guys, we have one protocol. See, manually as well, you can configure the time on all devices. But again, think, if human is going to configure the time on devices, definitely they will do some mistake. They will do some mistake, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
There will be some mismatch between devices, time mismatch. So again, that can disturb us to troubleshoot the network, right? At the troubleshooting, time is very important. So on both devices, time should be exactly same. So that's why we are using what protocol, and that protocol is called NTP,
NTP.
Network Time Protocol, which uses port number 123 and port number what? UDP. We will perform lab on NTP also, because NTP is very important topic as exam perspective as well, guys. Some questions are there, in CCN. Cisco is continuously asking some question from NTP protocol. NTP, SNMP, these are very important protocol for CCN 200301 exam. Earlier it was asking easy question, but nowadays really Cisco is asking good questions. I cannot say difficult question, good question. Means people who have learned the CCNA will enjoy the exam like that. Oh my god, this question. Oh, I know, like that. Getting my feeling. That's why I'm saying, brother, if I will go for CCNA exam 100 times, I will pass 100 times. Because whatever question Cisco is going to ask, I have repeated that question multiple times. After solving 2 to 3 dumps, you can pass CCNA exam easily, and 100% you will pass. Just learn the basic things and some protocol first, right? Then after that I will tell you, if someone is looking for CCNA certificate, how you can pass the exam. I have, guys, lots of tips for it also, and lots of materials are available. Like, I'm going to share the latest question that Cisco is asking, right, from last 2 to 3 months. As I'm teaching, I'm collecting this information as well. These are important, because people who want to pass CCNA exam, right, if they are taking training for only that reason, that I need to pass the exam, right? So doesn't matter what network is running in the real time, or how to troubleshoot. These are really matters, but after the exam, if they are not able to pass the exam after the training, right, and they have just enrolled for exam only, that means they have wasted their money as well and their time as well, right? So I will never want this. So that's why next protocol is
DHCP.
DSCP. Again, very important protocol.
Yes.
Like NTP, DSCP is also very important for network engineer, guys. HTTP, HTTPS really not important for you. Just you need to keep the in mind port number and TCP. FTP is also not much important. TFTP is also not much important. But NTP, Telnet, SSH, DHCP, these and DNS, these are important for you, right? So hope NTP is clear. Now try to understand the DHCP. See, guys, I have one company. In my company, there are 10 employees. Now you tell me, should I set up DHCP server over here? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Should I set up a DHCP server in this network? Yeah, it's easy to configure IP addresses on 10 machine, right? I don't need to purchase a device of 2 lakhs. And then we need an engineer as well to maintain that server. We need a AC room as well, right? So that can cool the device. Otherwise, when your device will heat, if you are running the devices continuously, your device will generate heat. And let's say there is some dust in the fan. Sometimes, guys, in real time, you will see on the devices, magic will happen, right? Automatically, in the morning, you have configured everything correctly, and evening, you are getting mail that there is some problem on same devices. So maybe there is some dust in your fan, in the fan of your device, right? Because of that, your device will start getting heat, will start generating heat, and because of this, you will see your protocol has gone. You have configured the OSPF correctly, but now OSPF is not running there. If you are running command so IP protocol, you are you are not able to see the OSPF protocol in the table. Like that type of problem you will see. So here I don't need to set up DHCP server, correct? Because maintenance is required, server is required, configuration is required, right? So I can easily configure IP addresses on all devices manually. I can assign one guys who is going to configure the IP addresses on all devices. Every day when you will come to office, right, that guys is going to give you, let's say you guys are technical, right, then you can configure it. But let's say you guys are from sales, then you are not able to configure IP. You don't know how to configure IP address on computer, yes or no? Your work is different. Your work is just call to client and ask for money, that's it. So here also network engineer is required, right? Every day we need to configure IP addresses on these devices, and we need to check as these devices are connected together through switch, right? There is chance that problem can occur. And I have to keep these devices safely, right, somewhere in the cool space. So one, I can hire one guys, right, for let's say 1 hour only. So every day you need to come to office and you need to configure IP addresses on all devices, right? That is your work only. But but there is guys chance again of what, human error. Maybe by mistaken a engineer can configure same IP address on two machine, or they can configure the wrong subnet mask. So when you will learn the subnetting, you will understand the power of subnet mask, guys, because lots of network engineers are doing this mistake in real time. They are configuring wrong subnet mask. First of all, you will get very less chance, in real time to configure the devices from the initial, from the zero level. Most of the time you will get configured network, right? Network is already running, you are in maintenance section, right? So there is chance of human error as well. So that's why it is better, if we have lots of users in the network, then it will be better to set up a DHCP server in network. So whatever task here you are doing, right, you are human, you are configuring IP address on all the devices manually, you are doing the work. Same work is going to done by a device. And if device is doing something, then there is very less chance of error. Okay, so configuring IP address manually on the device is called a static method, and configuring IP address on the devices through DHCP is called what, dynamic method. Sometimes Cisco or interviewer can ask you this question: what is the difference between a static IP configuration and dynamic IP configuration? And even people know what is the DHCP, but they are getting confused at the time of interview, that what interview is actually asking. Really, brother, trust me. When you will start attending interview, you will get this type of scenario. Okay, clear, guys?
Okay.
So in a static method, we can provide IP address. In dynamic method, DHCP server is going to provide IP address. Then next protocol is, and see, DHCP is using again two port number 67 and 68. Which service? UDP. It is used to provide IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server, IP address to the device automatically. Like we not need to we need to configure many more things, guys, apart from the IP. IP is compulsory, but with the help with along IP, you have to provide subnet mask also. You have to provide default gateway also, DNS server, IP address also.
We can provide
Yeah, you can provide these all things manually also and dynamically also. Okay. Now next protocol is
DNS.
DNS. So DNS stands for domain name system, guys. Like if I will ask you one question, that how you have saved my number in your mobile? With my name. Why with my name? Why not you have saved my number directly?
Name is no issue to
Numbers are
Names are easy to remember, yes or no?
yes sir, yes.
Numbers are difficult to remember. So can anyone know what is the IP address of Google server? No. But everyone know what is the name of Google server, www.google.com. Right? So remembering name is easy, number is hard. And device understand everything with number only. Device don't know the name. So we need a translator now between user and the device. right? Let's say to my computer I am saying please access web page of Google server. For that I will type www.google.com in the browser. Here will it enter. My PC is going to ask to this translator, brother, tell me the IP address of google.com. And this person is going to tell, oh, IP address of google.com is 8.8.8. Okay, fine, thank you. Let me send the packet to 8.8.8 like that. Clear? Hmm? So how DNS is going to work? DNS can be server. You can configure this service on devices, other devices as well. What it will do here, you have to first to DNS server, you have to tell everything like IP address of google.com is what? Google.com is 8.8.8.8. Then this server is going to make one entry in their table that okay, Google server IP address is this one, PM networking IP address is this one, Jabong.com IP address is this one, Facebook IP address is this one, WhatsApp IP address is this one, right? And whenever it will receive any DNS request, means whenever client will send any request for IP address, let's say it is getting a request, right? This client machine is sending for google.com. Tell me the IP address of google.com. So first this machine need what? DNS server IP address, then only it can ask to DNS na, server na. So that's why you have to provide the DNS server IP address to the client. If you will not define the DNS server IP address to the client, then what will happen, guys? You can access all the services through IP address, but you cannot access any service with the help of name, right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
If you are not going to define the DNS server IP address to client machine, no problem at all, but your machine can access the services with the help of IP address only, not with the help of domain name. So DNS is just a translator between user and machine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can set up a DNS server in your network also, and you can tell to your DNS server few website IP address, and you can connect your DNS server to Google also. Like on the internet there are 13 root domain servers. There are 13 root servers are there, right? Which are synchronized with almost all the website, all the sites. All entries are there on 13 servers, right? So you can synchronize your server with that server also. But if you are thinking that no, I don't have much memory on this server, so what you can do, you can configure some, you can make some tables over here, right? And then you can provide IP address of root domain server to your DNS server, that brother, whenever you will get request and if you don't have any entry, then please ask to root server. And when he is going to give you reply, please make that entry in your table for lifetime, that whenever someone will ask for that website, you will have entry like that. Getting my point? So guys, let's say here is the client, right? And then there is one router. This router is connected with, let's say what, ISP. On the ISP there is Google server, and on the ISP there is one DNS root server. In my network also there is one DNS server. But this DNS server have only knowledge about the PM networking. Let's say the IP address of www.pmnet.com. Let's say IP address of this website is, let's say, 10.1.1.1, right? So on this PC, first I will define one IP 10.1.1. Let's say what, 20.1.1. Let's say 1 is the IP address of this machine, or DHCP can provide. Then I will define the subnet mask. Then I will define the default gateway. Let's say 10.1.1.100. We'll discuss what is default gateway also. Then we are going to define what, DNS server IP address, that is 10.1.1.1. Now here on this PC in the browser, if you will type www.pmnetworking.com, what your machine will do, your machine will send one request to DNS server. Correct, guys? And your DNS server, that request is called DNS request message. Then your DNS server is going to generate what? Reply. In the reply it will share the IP address of that domain. Okay, that is fine. Now it can send data to Google, to PM networking, right? there is PM networking server also on the internet. Now the next scenario, when you will type www.google.com in the browser, then what will happen? Your client machine will send DNS request to DNS server, your DNS server, but your DNS server does not have any entry for the google.com. Then what your DNS server will do?
Go to router and to the ISP.
Now first you have to tell to this DNS server that root DNS server IP address is what? Let's say 30.1.1.1, right? 30.1.1.1. Now your root server is going to ask, for IP address for the same domain name to whom? To root DNS server. And root DNS server have entry, so it is going to give reply to whom? And then user. So you can see DNS is the protocol which uses port number, which uses TCP as well as UDP service. Yes or no? So the guys, communication between your client machine and your DNS server is what? UDP based. And the communication between your DNS server and root server is what? Based on TCP. Clear? Okay, so that's why DNS is using what? To both services, TCP and UDP at transport layer. Because between your client and your DNS server, we want fast communication. And between your DNS server and root DNS server, we want what? Reliable communication. Yes or no?
DNS server and DNS root servers are both different or same?
Both are different or same means? Both are different, no, brother? This server is in my company, right, in my building, and this server is on internet somewhere. You can check the places, right, of roots DNS root server on the internet. Okay, so it is used to resolve a fully qualified domain name into IP address. Now guys, let's perform a lab of these all protocols, right, except NTP. Okay, except NTP. First of all, I'm going to delete this dummy PC here. On guys, router, this interface, what IP address I have configured? Let me configure one IP here, that is 10.1.1.1/24. Okay, because on all interfaces you have to first define the IP address. Let's say here network should be different. In subnetting we will learn it, don't worry. If anyone have confusion with IP addressing, don't worry about it. Let me zoom it a little bit, it will be, I think, easy. Clearly visible now IP addresses, right? So I'm not going to define IP address to PC1, PC2, PC3, PC or laptop 1. I will set up the DHCP server here. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to configure the router. I need to configure the router manually. So on fast Ethernet 0/0 and fast Ethernet 0/1, let me define the IP very fast. Interface fast Ethernet 0/0, say no shut, and IP address. So see guys, this is my practice. Whenever I configure IP address on interface, first of all I am running this command, no shutdown. 10.1.1.1 255.255.255.0 exit interface fast Ethernet 0/1, again here say no shut, and then IP address 20.1.1.1 255.255.255.0. Fine, router configuration is done. And whatever IP address here I am running on this router interface, guys, that will be the default gateway for these all users. Now if you are thinking what is default gateway, we will discuss about the default gateway, but for now let me tell you something about it. See guys, default gateway is nothing but the exit point of your network. Exit point of your network. Let's say this PC1 want to communicate with HTTP server. What is the exit point for PC1 to enter in this network or to leave this network? What is the exit interface? This one. From this interface only it is going to auth, right? So this interface IP address will be the default gateway for this user. Okay. And what is the purpose behind it, behind the default gateway, like why we are using it, right? It can be your question. So don't worry, we will discuss the default gateway, what is default gateway, why we are using it. For now, just keep in mind this thing only, that this IP address will be default gateway for these all and devices, single default gateway for these all devices, because for these all devices exit point is only this one. Yes or no?
Yes.
Hope it's clear to everyone. Now you know what will happen here. If PC1 want to communicate with PC2, then guys destination MAC will be the MAC address of PC2 every time. But if a PC want to communicate with a device which belongs to different network, then default gateway will be always sorry, MAC destination MAC address will be always MAC address of default gateway, always. So there is reason behind it, right? What will happen if there will be the MAC address of HTTP server, and can this PC resolve MAC address of the server or not? That can be our scenario in upcoming time. Actually, you know what is the problem? Problem is PC1 cannot resolve the MAC address of HTTP server. Even PC have IP address. Let's say this machine IP address is 20.1.1.10. So this server have IP address. Means PC have IP address of destination device. Then also PC1 cannot find the MAC address of this device. So if this PC is not able to find the MAC address, then PC cannot communicate, right? Basic, remember the basic requirement of communication: source IP, destination IP, source MAC, and destination MAC. So that's why destination MAC for the different network will be always the MAC address of default gateway. Don't worry, we will discuss it in very detail. For now, I'm going to configure IP addresses on this server, because as these are my servers, so here I will configure IP address manually. Let me define IP on HTTP server first. So here IP address is going to be 20.1.1. Let's say what, 10 255.255.255.0. Default gateway will be what, 20.1.1.1, and DNS server IP address will be what, let's say 10.1.1.30. I will configure same address on DNS server. Okay, I'm going to copy it. Fine. And now from the server, if I will ping my default gateway, like who is my default gateway, 20.1.1.1. So you can see ping is working, right? That means now HTTP server is able to ping their default gateway at least, right? Here we are going to configure HTTP service. Then let me write the IP addresses. On this server, IP address will be 20.1.1.10. On this machine, IP addresses will be 20.1.1. Let's say 20. On this machine, IP address will be what, 20.1.1.30 on DNS server, and on this machine, IP address will be, let's say what, 20.1.1.40. Fine, these are my IP addresses. So let me configure IP address on all servers manually. So here IP address is 20.1.1.20, 255.255.255.0, 20.1.1.1, and DNS server IP 20.1.1.30. That's it. Go to DNS server, IP address 20.1.1.30, 255.255.255.0, 20.1.1.1, and 20.1.1.30. Then FTP 20.1.1.40, 255.255.255.0, then 20.1.1.1 and 20.1.1.30. Fine. Now I need to set up the DHCP service here. So let me click on DHCP server, and then guys, here you can see the services section. Once you will click on services section, you can see you have multiple protocols here. Like, are you able to see HTTP, DHCP, TFTP, DNS, syslog, AAA, NTP, email, FTP, and IoT, Internet of Things. Right? So by default, HTTP and HTTP service is on or off here by default. Right? Both services are on, right? HTTP as well as HTTPS. Only I need to create what? Website. So guys, if anyone know the coding, then I'm going to create one website. So this is my language. Here I'm going to change few things. Like here I'm going to put, let's say, PM networking. welcome to PM. Okay, let's leave the colors on default. Let me save it. Save it. Okay, I've saved the website. Now, guys, if I want to access HTTP service on this server, what I need to do? Simply on any browser, like on DHCP server, or if I can connect one PC here. One PC here. If this PC need IP address, right? So for that I am going to set up DHCP service also on this server. So again, I in the services section there is DHCP as well. You can see DHCP. Yes or no? So I click on DHCP and see this service is by default enabled or disabled.
Off.
Off.
Disable.
So first of all I need to turn on this service, and then there is one already entry. See, pool means what? Name of your DHCP. So here I can change the name. Let's say what? CCNA. Then it's asking for default gateway. What default gateway you want to provide to users? 20.1.1.1. Then it's asking what DNS server you want to provide to the client. 20.1.1.30. What is the starting IP address that you want to provide to client? Let's say 20.1.1.40. I have already defined till 40. So let me say from the 50. Right? What subnet mask you want to configure? 255.255.255.0. And the maximum number of user that can get IP address from this pool is what? 512. Let me save this entry over here. Save it. What is it? Pool name can't be modified or edit. A new pool will be added. Okay, bhai. Okay, now you can see there is one entry, right? Okay, now let me, yeah.
Maximum number of
Okay, don't worry. In subnetting, we are going to discuss the subnetting. In subnetting, we will see that. Don't worry. How this PC will get that much amount of IP, right? That is your question.
Okay.
Okay, so see, this PC need IP address. What this PC will do? This PC will simply click on DHCP. Here is the DHCP option. You can see,
Yes.
right? So if I will click over here, see, before clicking on it, I'm going to use simulation mode so that you can see the packet as well. See, once I will click on DHCP, what this machine will do? This machine will generate a message. That message called discover message. You can see the first message. This message is what? Discover message. I'm going to write down the name. Discover. Okay. Then if you will open this packet, you can see, you can read the data as you already know the OSI model, right? Is it visible
Yes.
for everyone? Yes. Okay, let me read it. See, this is was get DHCP message. This is what? DHCP message. After that, what is this? Means protocol at layer 4. That means this is what? Transport layer header. In the transport layer header, source port number is what? 68. That means client machine is going to use what port number? Because client is sending this packet, na? Right? So always keep in mind this point, that DHCP is uses two port number, right? 67 and 68. 68 is used by client. And what about the 67? For DHCP server. This client machine is sending this discover message to whom? To DHCP server only, na? Right? Then there is checksum field and then your actual data. See, under the DHCP message, under the DHCP message, client address is what? 0.0.0. Why 0.0.0? Because this client machine don't have any IP address till now. Right? So your client address. Server IP address is why 0.0.0, because this machine don't know who is DHCP server. Yes or no? This client machine don't have any information, so that's why source address, server address is both are 0.0.0. We will discuss about the relay agent also. Relay agent is also what 0.0.0, right guys? Then you can read the IP header. See the IP header. This is what in IP header. Source IP is what? Why?
Because we have not set the IP.
Correct. Destination is what?
255,
And 255 is just broadcast. This is a broadcast address. Whenever we need to send a packet to everyone, we will forward that packet on this address only. So why it is doing broadcast? Because again, this machine don't know who is DHCP, right? So this machine have to forward this packet to everyone, and only DHCP server will generate reply.
We don't know destination.
Yes, it don't know the destination, right?
Because of that, switch is computer is broadcasting.
Correct, very good. Version is 4, TTL value is 128. So you can see the TTL value in Windows operating system. Okay, so these informations are clear. Then at layer 2 also you can see everything is broadcast. There will be only source MAC address unicast, you can say, because this machine have source MAC address, yes or no? And destination MAC is still what? All F means broadcast. And here type of packet is 0x0800, means upper layer protocol is what? IPv4. So this is discover message, guys. Client machine is going to send this discover message to DHCP server. See, it have sent to switch, and as destination MAC is broadcast, switch is going to forward this to everyone, and everyone except DHCP server will drop it. You can see all devices are dropping. Only who have accepted it
20.1.1.20.
means DHCP server,
Yes, sir.
and DHCP server have generated 2 new packet here,
Yes, sir.
right? This is our packet just to resolve the MAC address of IP address, just to resolve MAC address of from IP address from MAC address. Leave this R packet for now. We will discuss ARP in packet flow. Focus on this message, another message. This one is which type of message? Actually, this is simulation, so it's showing wrong message. Let me do one thing. This is which type of message? Nope. There is some wrong. Let me check this packet. There is some misconfiguration in topology, I think. I have got IP address. No. There is some misconfiguration. Let me check. Yes, this machine is getting IP address from DHCP server, right? 20.1.1.2. See, in packet tracer, actually we are not able to see the packet correctly. Okay, so what I will do, I will perform DHCP lab in GNS3 ons, and then we will capture the link, and there we can see the packet in detail, right? Every layers information we can get there. So that's why here we are not going to discuss the packet, but for now just keep in mind only one thing, that in DHCP we have 4 types of message: discover, offer, then request, and then acknowledgement. See guys, discover message is used to discover DHCP server, right? This machine have generated discover message just to discover the server, yes or no? It was sending all messages on broadcast, right? So in discover message, source will be 0.0.0 source IP, destination IP will be broadcast 255.255.255, source MAC will be the MAC address of PC, and destination MAC will be broadcast. So once a DHCP server will receive a discover message, DHCP server is going to send offer message. This is second message. Offer message is used to offer the IP address to client machine, right? So DHCP server is going to offer one IP address. Let's say that IP address is 20.1.1.40, right? So once this client machine will receive this offer message, it will assign this IP address to their interface. Before assigning, it is going to ask to server that I'm going to assign this IP address. Is it okay? Please check is it duplicate or not, like something like that, right? So for that, client machine is going to send request message that this is just like a final message before assigning this IP address on interface, right? Then server is going to acknowledge him, yes, you can assign it, everything is fine, right? And then finally PC will assign this IP address. So this is how DHCP work. DHCP work on DORA process. We are saying what? DORA process: discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. Who is going to send discover message? Client machine. Who is going to send offer message? DHCP server. Who is going to send request message? Client. Who is going to send acknowledgement message? Server. What will be the source address in this discover message? 0.0.0. What will be the destination IP address in the discover? 255.255.255.255. What will be the source MAC address of client machine? What will be the destination MAC? Broadcast. In the offer message, again guys, as PC don't have any IP address, destination IP will be what? 0. Means 255.255.255, right? In the DHCP packet, destination IP will be 0.0.0, right? In the IP packet, destination will be broadcast. At layer 2, it should be unicast or broadcast. As DHCP server have MAC address of this client machine, it should perform unicast. So again guys, in Windows operating system, offer message will be unicast, but in Cisco IS, all messages are broadcast. All messages are broadcast, right? So offer message will be also broadcast, this message will be also broadcast, and this message will be also broadcast in Cisco IS. So we will see the lab of it in GNS, don't worry, right? But I have set up the DHCP server service in the network, but you know, I want to configure IP on these devices from this DHCP server, right? So this time you can see my DHCP server is not in my own network. DHCP belongs to different network, right? Or maybe a different location, right? So guys, in this scenario, you have to tell to router, because keep one thing in mind for now: router never forward broadcast packet. Like if router is receiving a broadcast packet on this interface, it cannot forward it from this interface, not possible at all. So when this PC will generate a discover message that is broadcast, router will receive that broadcast, and router cannot forward it to this interface. Then this machine can never discover where is DHCP server, yes or no? So in this scenario, I have to tell to my router, brother, there is DHCP server in different networks. So please do one thing: whenever you will receive a broadcast message like discover message, I know you cannot forward the broadcast, but do one thing: let me convert that broadcast into unicast and then send to server. And when server will reply it to you, then please inform to client. Like that, I have to configure this router, and that particular thing is called what? Relay agent. That particular thing is called what? Relay agent. So in my scenario, router 0 is going to act as a relay agent. Okay, so simply I need to run one command to achieve this all tasks what I have described here. For that only you need to run one command, that is IP helper address, and then you can define the IP address of DHCP server. That's it. Got it? So on the router, I am going to define the helper address first.
Sir, if we
Yeah, tell me.
if we enter on router root, so it can't ping.
No, so you know what will happen in that scenario? That's in that scenario, destination MAC will be the MAC address of default gateway only, not MAC address of destination device. If destination is in same network, then destination MAC will be always MAC address of destination device. If device is in different network, then destination MAC will be always MAC address of default gateway. Why? Because to find the destination MAC, devices are going to generate ARP request, that is broadcast, and router cannot forward it, right? So that is the reason why whenever destination belongs to different network, then my destination MAC address will be the MAC address of default gateway. Okay. So here I am defining, see, IP helper address is what? 20.1.1.20, which is IP address of DHCP server. Hit enter. Oh, don't need to define subnet mask. Sorry, it's my mistake like this. Sorry guys. Okay. Now, see, these users are in which network, guys? In this network, right? But I have set up the DHCP for 20 network only, right? So I'm going to create one more pool on DHCP server. So go to DHCP section, and this time let me give name to this pool is something different. Let's say what, PMNet campus 1, campus 1. This is name, right? What default gateway I'm going to provide to users? See, I'm configuring DHCP for these user, right? PCs for these user. So default gateway will be what? 10.1.1.1. Yes or no? So here I'm going to say default, provide this default gateway 10.1.1.1. Then what will be the DNS server IP address? There is only one DNS server, right? So I'm going to provide
Sir, default gateway in,
default gateway is 10.1.1.1.
just please pull down this
Yeah, yeah.
this dialog box. 10.1.1.1 and fast ethernet sorry 0 by 1. I think 0 by
No,
1 will
see,
be default gateway.
see, brother, for this network,
Sir,
what is the exit interface? This one,
yes,
exit interface. So
10.1.1.
this IP address will be default gateway for these all user, and for these all user, what is the exit point? This one.
Yes,
So this IP address will be the default gateway for this user.
yes,
And now we are setting up DHCP for this user, for this user,
okay,
right? Because in this network we don't have any DHCP server, and I don't want to purchase another device, right? As I told you, maintenance and the rest thing is required. So I'm going to use same DHCP server which is located in different location or in different network,
okay.
right?
We are providing IP address and set for
Everything like what IP address you are going to provide to device, what subnet mask you are going to provide to device, what default gateway you are going to provide to device, and what DNS server IP address you are going to provide to device. These all things we are going to tell to DHCP server. Clear? Okay, so I have defined this as a default gateway. DNS server IP address this one. I'm going to say starting IP address will be 10.1.1. Let's say from 10. Okay, and then I'm going to save this entry. Right now, guys, from this network, I'm going to request for IP address. Let me check I'm getting IP or not. So yes, you can see I'm getting IP address from DHCP server, right? Everything is correct, right? IP address 10.1.1.10, because I have start the range from here, so it have provide the first IP address to this client machine. Then subnet mask 255.255.255.0, default gateway 10.1.1.1, DNS server IP address 20.1.1.1, right? Got it, guys? In the same way, I can define the IP over here as well. Here IP address is, let's say, let me click on DHCP. Yes, you can see it have got 10.11. Then go to laptop. And now I can tell to sell departments, right? Just every day you can click on this button, right? You will get IP address automatically, right? Try to correlate with real time scenario. Okay, so you can see all PC have got the IP addresses, right? Now, guys, next scenario can be what? Here is HTTP service enabled. So let me try to access HTTP service from here, right? My domain name is what? Domain name I have not created. Okay, so first of all, let me do one thing. In the browser of this PC1 browser, I'm going to type the IP address of HTTP server. What even? Yes, this is PC1, guys. Okay, clear? Clear? In the browser, I'm going to type IP 20.1.1.10. See, I'm able to access the website. Yes, I'm able to access the website. This is the website, right? They are configured. Okay, I'm able to access the website. Can I access this website with domain name? Let's say my domain name is www.pmnet.com. Let's say this is my domain name. Can I access?
yes.
No, not possible. Why not possible? Because this machine don't have IP address of pmnet.com. After some time you will get error. Actually, page is not reloading.
Sir, have you not set this IP for the name?
I've set it. I think, no? Yeah. Actually, I have set it. I already added the entry over here. No, I think DNS.
DNS, I think.
No, there is no entry. No, this PC cannot access through domain name. Let me try again. Actually, that is problem of packet tracer. It's taking some time, much time to update. You can see it's not opening. So that's why very less lab we are going to perform in packet tracer, guys. Basic lab, because these are basic only, right? See, www.pmnet.com. See, I'm not able to access. Why I'm not able to access? See what it's saying. Host name unresolved. Means this machine was not able to resolve the host name. Host name is your URL, right? So what I can do, I can set up a DNS server in the network, right? I can tell to DNS server that, brother, your IP, your this is a domain name, and pick this IP address for this domain name. Like, click on DNS server and again go to services. In the services, you can see there is DNS service, right? And by default, the service is enable or disable. So let me enable it, and then it's asking what domain name. So domain name is what? www.pmnetworking.com. And what is the IP address of this domain name? 20.1.1.10. That's it. That's it. Now see, DNS server have entry, and PC have already aware about the IP address of DNS server. PC one have already knowledge, right? Where is DNS? So if from the PC, if I will access this website, you can see now I am able to access. How? Because this machine have now IP address because of DNS, right? So first my machine have sent it one DNS query message to DNS server. But if I will remove the DNS server IP address from this PC, then what will happen? Let me do one thing. Let me configure the IP address statically here. 10.1.1.1 subnet mask. What is the IP? 10.1.1.10. 255.255.255.0 default gateway. 10.1.1.1. Oh, 10.1.1.1. And I'm not going to define DNS server IP address this time. Now again, let me check that I am able to access the website or not. Why not? PC can store this information in their cache as well, na? On real PC, it will store that information in their cache for some time. pmnet.com. See what is saying again. But once I will define the IP address of DNS server, it have knowledge, right? So now hope guys DNS server is clear, everyone. If yes, please tell me. Right. So here you can see from the PC2, as PC2 have DNS server IP address. What happened? Oh my god.
Close कर दी.
Okay. We need to perform some more lab here. Oh my god, how I have closed it. This was unexpected. Let me restore the device. PC1 was getting hanged, so that's why I closed that. Only 3 protocols are left now: FTP, TFTP, and Telnet SSH. How I have closed the history recent file. Yeah. Oh, this one is another one. I don't need this one, brother. I think there is no option, right?
No option.
No option is there. Let me do one thing. I'm going to design one very small topology right now, because only I need to make you understand, guys, these 3 protocols: FTP, TFTP, and Telnet. Okay, maybe we will configure Telnet and DHCP tomorrow on GNS3. Okay, but let me do one thing. Let me perform one lab of FTP. For that, almost we have covered all important application layer protocol. So have you guys learned something from today class or not? Every day think, ask this question to yourself, that have you learned something from this class or not? Okay, let's say I have only two PC, then I have one switch, and then I have one router. I can leave the router as well, but let me take it. And then I have one server. Let's say this is what, guys, FTP server. FTP server. And now let me connect these devices. Is it visible? Yeah. From on PC1, I'm going to configure one IP, let's say 10.1.1.1. Here I'm going to configure IP 10.1.1.2. And on this interface, I'm going to configure, let's say 10.1.1.10. Here I'm going to configure 20.1.1.1. And here I'm going to configure, let's say 20.1.1.10. Okay. 10.1.1.1, 255, 255, 255.0, and 10.1.1.1. Oh, I've defined same as default gateway. It's 10. Yeah. .1.1.2 and 10.1.1.10. Done. Done. From PC, we can verify the connectivity with server. As we are going to configure FTP service, you should verify the connectivity ping 20.1.1.10. So see, PC1 is able to ping or not. Sure. Okay, you have to learn this also, like why first packet have a drop here. There is some reason. Now we will discuss it in packet flow. First packet. Where is first packet? We will discuss more about this packet. From PC2 also you can verify. Yes, because of ARP request. Both machines have taken some time to resolve ARP that was greater than ARP request timeout. That is the reason. 20.1.1.10. Yes, this machine is also able to ping. Now I'm going to enable FTP service here. So again, go to services. Then there is FTP somewhere. Yes, you can see. Services by default what? On. Just you need to create one user on this server. That's it. Services by default enable. There is already one user. Username is Cisco and password is also Cisco. So through this username and password also you can access this server. And if you want, you can configure one. Let's say my username is, let's say what, Kapil. In a small Kapil, and password is, let's say what, Cisco 123. I can add it. Right, I have created the user. Now FTP service is enabled over here, and from these two PC I am able to ping it. That means I can save something, right? Now I'm going to create one folder on this PC, guys. I will save that folder on this PC, and then I will upload that folder on FTP server, and after that I will download that file from PC2. Fine. I'm going to create one file here. I will upload that file here. Then I will access that file from. Correct. So let me take you to PC1, and first of all I am going to check that I am able to access FTP server or not. For that, simply you will do what? You will type FTP in the command prompt, and then FTP, after that IP address of, what is the command? FTP FTP is not there. Give me a minute.
Transfer file transfer files to and from a computer.
Or to access FTP server, what command I will run? I am looking for that. Just a minute. FTP, then I think it's IP address of FTP server, right? So what is the IP address of FTP server? 20 dot. So FTP and 20.1.1.10.
10. 1, 1, 10.
Correct? Hit enter. It's asking username.
Trying to control, yes.
Username is what?
Kapil.
Copy, small.
Kapil. Password is what?
Cisco 1, 2, 3.
Have access of FTP or not?
Yes, access.
If I want to upload something there, I will run command put and then file name. So first of all, let me create one file here. For that, exit from here. Exit. How I will get exit? Control C. Yeah. Now I have in PC. Here I am going to create one file. How I can create one file? Let me use anyone. Let's say text editor. Okay. Here I am going to write down some text. Let's say hello. How are you? Is it fine? Okay. Then I can save this file here. Save it. What is the name of file? Let's say name is ccna.txt, as it is text. I have saved the file. How to check that file have saved or not? In the terminal, sorry, not in the terminal, in the command prompt, we can check directory. We can check directory dir. So yes, there is one file or not.
THCP. Yes.
Correct. Now I need to upload it on FTP server. So what command I will run? FTP, then IP address of FTP 20.1.1.10. Oh,
IP is wrong, sir.
okay. FTP 10. Username Kapil. Password
Cisco 1, 2.
put. File name
ccna.txt.
what is the size of packet?
15 byte.
80 byte. Copied in
0.093 seconds. I 193 bytes per second.
got it. Now if you want to verify, what you can do, you can check the directory of FTP server, or here also you can see in the services, go to FTP, you can see there is one file with same name somewhere.
ccna.txt. Yes.
Yes. So have you learned how to upload the file on FTP server? Now see how to download it from PC number 2. Go to PC2, again open any command prompt. Here to access FTP server, what command you will run? FTP and then IP address of FTP, that is 20.1.1. Username, password, done. To download any file, you will run command what? Get, and then file name. What is the file name? What it's saying?
Transfer complete. 18 bytes copied in 0 seconds.
Yes.
Now I am in PC. dir. File is there or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes.
In the same way TFTP also works. Now guys, I am requesting whatever things today I have done, right, please do it by yourself once at least. If someone thinks it is very easy, I know it is easy. but trust me brother, please do it at least once. Okay,
Sure, sir.
then tomorrow we are going to understand some advanced lab like lab of DHCP and Telnet. After that we will move to the further. According to syllabus we have covered the application layer protocol in day 5, right? Only 2 protocols are left. Then in next class we are going to start,
IPv4 addressing and collection.
means next class, maybe in first half an hour we will discuss Telnet and DHCP. Okay, then we will start IP addressing and classification. Okay, then subnetting we have. Okay, we will see this all later. Now guys, anyone have any question from today class? We have again time, we can sit for some more time. So if anyone have question, please ask.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you configure, what do you call it, relay agent, you configure on which interface? The one in
On this interface.
LAN.
Yeah, on the LAN interface where my end users are connected.
Okay.
See, this user will generate broadcast message, right? And this interface will drop that broadcast message. So I have to tell to this interface only.
Sir, we have provide the helper address that is called relays.
Yeah. Once you will configure helper address on a router, that router can be known as by relay agent router. This is just a name. Relay agent is nothing. Only we need to provide the helper IP address. And you know what will happen when you will define the helper address over here? Whenever now router will receive a discover message, right? That is broadcast. Earlier it was dropping. Now router will not drop it, but this router have knowledge about the DHCP server IP address. It is going to send that packet to a particular address in the form of unicast. So that's why this router need what? IP address of DHCP server. Clear now?
Yes, sir.
Any other question, guys? Go ahead, no problem.
If you use a router as a DHCP server
DCP,
to assign the IP addresses, and you have 2 routers, the other router has, you have to configure the help the relay. Which IP address are you going to use as
no,
DHCP server?
can you tell me the scenario again? I have 2 router, R1,
Yeah.
R2, like this, brother. And here I have LAN users, and here is the server, like this.
I can't see the presentation screen.
You can't see. Oh, sorry. Let me see here again. Like this scenario, these are PCs, and this is server.
Yes.
In this scenario, see, if you are configuring DHCP for these users, then on this interface you will define helper IP address.
Okay. What if you use a router as a DHCP server?
If router is the DHCP server, if this router is DHCP server, then I don't need to define the helper address. But if this router is DHCP server,
One router 2 is the
yeah, then again you have to provide the helper IP address here. Here,
which IP address are you going to use?
any IP address of router 2, which is reachable from R1. Any IP address, it can be IP address of this one also, like router IP address, because DHCP is running on what? Router. So just
Okay.
what we need reachability till router, that's it. If this router will receive a traffic, right, where destination is, let's say, anything 10.1.1, which is running on this interface, it is going to check the upper layer which protocol actual message is what. So actual message is what? DHCP right? Then it will check DHCP service is enabled or not. If enabled, then it will hand over to DHCP protocol, which is running on router, right? So we can define the any IP address of R2 to R1, but that should be reachable from R1. That's it. That is the only requirement. Let's say DHCP is not on R2, DHCP is on R3. Again, doesn't matter DHCP server is, whatever IP address you are providing, right, to your machine, to R1, to your LAN interface, that IP address should be reachable from DHCP server. That's it. Doesn't matter where it is. Clear?
Clear.
Any other question? Okay, guys, then let's meet tomorrow. Bye bye. That's all for today.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.